how we are tending to deal with the death matter. If we understand that the death sentence is a reality for all mankind, how would humanity deal with the fearful reality of death? Through my deep meditation, I have come to realize that we tend to have 5 ways of dealing with death. It could be presented as a metaphorical story. Suppose we are all travelers who are starting to move from a mountain brook towards Niagara Falls, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world, and where I am living at Toronto, only 1 hour away from the Niagara Fall. However, it's also so dreadful that we can't help but imagine falling down from the top to the bottom. Some of us may leave early, while others may start later. Though the starting point may differ, the end point for all of us is Niagara Falls. In the same way, we can understand that humans are drifting away on a daily basis through the river towards Niagara Falls, which represents the point of death. As someone who lives in Toronto, which is only an hour and a half away from Niagara Falls, I am always in awe of the magnificent sight, but at the same time, it's also dreadful. I can't imagine falling from the top to the bottom. However, if I were to describe the feeling of death, I would say it's like falling down Niagara Falls. Who would dare to like falling into the depths of Niagara Falls? Yet, we are all destined to fall down to the bottom of Niagara Falls, which serves as a metaphor for the last moment of each life. So, how can we present different situations according to the timeline? I suggest segregating them into 5 cases based on the timeline. The first group of cases would include young people between the ages of 0 to 16. Children do not have a sense of drifting towards the death fall like Niagara. They can enjoy every moment without any worries. To them, the whole world is full of wonders, and their only wish is for time to pass faster so they can get married and have fun without any interference from parents. This group has no sense of the reality of death at all. For them, life is a paradise without any fear of death. The second group of cases would mostly include young people between the ages of 16 to 39. They are not yet in danger of drifting towards the death fall because they still have enough time to think and prepare for it. Instead of thinking about the reality of death, they are more focused on how to live life first. This is also a time for them to enjoy adventures. Psychologists often refer to this young group as going through their first stormy period. While they try to enjoy the glittering things in the world, they are also trying to acquire power, money, love, and fame to solve their life matters and sustain a better condition. Finding a spouse is one of their top priorities. Thus, they may not be fully aware or earnestly thinking that life is drifting towards the dreadful death. The third group of cases would include some aged group who are getting older, and they belong to the middle age range of 40 to 59 years old. They tend to start feeling that the time of ending is getting closer to them, and gradually they may become nervous instinctively about the point of death. During this period, people start to think about the meaning of life. In a study, this is referred to as the second stormy period. However, soon they may give up, realizing that there is no solution to understanding the destiny of life throughout all human history. Some may start to think unreasonably and vaguely, saying things like I am going to accept the theory of reincarnation from Buddhism. Or I want to have my last breath beside the river of Andes because I want to be reborn in a rich family or in a royal family. If I am lucky according to Hinduism, most of them just accept the reality of life and say, what can I do about this reality? I have no solution, and even nobody has a solution. I can't help but accept it, and I will live to help others who need my help. I will close my end beautifully because I know that's my best option. The fourth group of cases would be those who are getting close to the point of death, between 60 to 90 years old. They have mostly given up searching for a solution to death and started to embrace the reality of death, accepting the truth upon themselves as it is. They say things like, life is nothing, it's just a one-night dream, or, if I can incarnate, I wish to be born again in a rich family. Some may even say skeptically, even if I reincarnate, I will suffer again. So why is it necessary to be born again? The fifth group of cases would be those who pessimistically understand the seriousness of death regardless of age difference. The approaching waterfall of death makes them feel so dreadful that the fear of death haunts them every day. They may even try to die earlier than their life destiny, which can be considered a form of suicide. Mentally, they may become depressed and lose their desire to maintain daily life, suffering from a sense of meaninglessness. I believe that this group must be pretty smart people, different from those in the regular categories, and we cannot frame them in a certain way. Though we used to show sympathy towards them, I think such sympathy might be redundant for them. They must understand the reality of the meaning of death better than others who only consider the reality of life. To sum up, based on age or mental maturity, I have attempted to categorize the 5 ways in which humans deal with the matter of death in practical terms. I hope that all readers can understand what I am trying to convey about how we tend to think about the reality of death. The title of this book is The Fear of Death. Isaac G. Lee presents.